In the unit number 9, web designing. In this unit, we will learn about the homepage, design and layout, languages for web page architecture, elements of web page design, importance of hyperlinks, registration of the website, and maintenance and management of websites. A website is a collection of web pages identified with a common domain name and published on at least one web server. Web pages are the building blocks of websites. Hussain, is my voice is clear to you? Mr. Hussain? Hello? Hello, Hussain? Hussain? Is my voice is clear to you? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Clear? Right. I will share the screenshot also shortly. Some technical I will share the screen share also. Right. A website is a collection of web pages identified with a common domain name. Domain names. What you about known about the domain name, subdomain names? In earlier unit, maybe 7th unit or 6th unit, we learned about the domains. For example, ICICI bank.com, that .com is a domain. COM means commercial. For example, coming to the government website, we see www.telangana.gov.in. So that indicates that GOV means a government institution. Coming to the education also a short form like EDU. And for example, another enter into the main website, then you click on the personal banking. There you will see the in the URL bar there is ICICIbank.com oblique personal banking oblique some code, like that is the subdomains. Coming to our website design, there are documents usually composed in plain text and interspersed with tags. That is otherwise we call it as a formatting instructions of a hypertext markup language. Already we know in a earlier session we have discussed about the HTML also. HTML means a language. See, we have exchanging some communication through a spoken language, that is English here. Like that, computer also needed some language. So that is a hypertext markup language. I'm coming to the home page. See, if you open any website, that will come home page and about us, contact, and some sub bars, some subtopics is appears on there. For example, our university website, there is appears homepage, again academics, student links, examination branch, like this. Homepage means first click of the website. The homepage is the landing page of a website. In other words, it is the first page a visitor navigating to a website will see, and it may also serve as a landing page to attract visitors. This initial page of a website that opens in a browser is sometimes called main page as well, home page or main page. There is another idea of a home page related to browser setting. This home page refers to the first page that appears upon opening browser. For example, Google Chrome, if we open Google Chrome, that we may ask if you keep it this as a home page. So once if you keep it, that page, that website as a home page, if whenever you open it, it will come, it will shows that the first page always that home page only, that website only. Design and layout. Why design and layout is required? Because the design attracts the viewers, attracts the reader to view that website, see, read that website, content in that website. The designs would be usable. Some layouts have become so common because users can work with them. Users are already familiar with them. So that is why design is required. If design means like how we can do some like we are give some makeup. If human being, they do some makeup, so it will appear good. A good user experience is created by building a sense of familiarity with users. So accordingly, the users, the design and layout should be made by the designer, website designer. There is a number of types like a single column websites and split screen websites. Websites means home pages. For coming to the single column website means home page or website, their design. Single column layouts present the main content in a single vertical column. This type of layout is perhaps the simplest and is the easiest for users to navigate. Visitors simply scroll down to see more content. In generally, what will appear on the first page or main page, some already I have discussed, some after entering to the website, home page, and some contact and some important departments of that organization. And end of the page, there is also again a detailed navigation details were given in the in that page, where all other details, navigation marks is there, sublinks is there. For mobile resolution and web desktop resolution and web page for the mobile phone, some way it is different than the website which is opens on the desktop. So the designer, they do the mobile version and and desktop version. And coming to the split screen or a one screen divided into two layout is perfect for a page that has two main pieces of content of equal importance. It allows designer to display both items simultaneously while giving them equal consideration. That is why they use split screen. Many of them only just a single column the website only. They focus on the single column website, means vertical column like only they design. But if they need a unique, they need to give a two important items in the home page, they go with the split screen. Some design tips are like avoid using too much content in split sections. Split screen designs do not expand well as content grows. So it's better to avoid choosing this type of layout. If you need to provide a lot of textual or visual information in split sections, and consider adding animation. You can create a more dynamic experience by incorporating animated details. So these are some two or three tips is there, and many tips which I have given in the textbook. Once you read it, you will get more idea on the designing a page. Languages for web pages, already we have known about the language HTML, and some softwares are also available for web page languages like ActionScript 3.0, that is that is an objective oriented language originally developed by Macromedia Incorporation, now owned by Adobe Systems. It is a dialect of ECMAS script, meaning it is as the same syntax and semantics of the more widely known like JavaScript. JavaScript also one of the language, and is used primarily for the development of websites and software targeting the Adobe Flash Player platform used on web pages in the form of embedded SWF files. And we know C language, C++, C sharp. These languages also uses in the web page designing. Recent development is a C sharp and Java also. About C sharp is a multi-paradigm programming language encompassing interpretive, declarative, functional, generic, and objective oriented, and also component oriented programs disciplines, all this in a C sharp. It was developed by Microsoft with the .NET initiative and later approved as a standard by ISO standards like ISO 9000, ISO 14000, ISO 23270. This C sharp is a ISO 23270 licensed. C sharp is one of the programming language designed for the common language infrastructure. Syed, is my voice and video is clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Right. Some another markup language is a Cold Fusion markup language, more commonly known as a CFML, is the scripting language used by Adobe Cold Fusion, Blue Dragon, and Raylo, as well as other CFML server engines. These are the languages. Just you are here just learning about the some software side, but it is not exactly a journalist not need to know, but we have to be aware of the digital media. So we have to aware of these languages also, how to design a website, where to register, and what the elements included in the page design. So we'll discuss all this. JavaScript also another important language for the web designing. Java is a programming language originally developed by James at Sun Microsystems. Now Sun Microsystem is a Oracle Corporation. Earlier it is a Sun Microsystem and released in 1995 as a core component of Sun Microsystems Java platform. The language derives much of its syntax from C and C++, but as a simpler object model and favor low-level facilities. So easily it will open, means some less data consumes and easily opens in the web pages, like in the mobile version also content opens easily. Another one is a Perl, Perl. Perl is a high level general purpose and dynamic program language. The Perl was originally developed by Larry Wall in 1987 as a general purpose Unix scripting language to make report processing easier. Another one is a PHP. PHP means hypertext preprocessor, is a widely used general purpose scripting language that was originally designed for web development to produce dynamic web pages. For this purpose, PHP code is embedded into the with the PHP processor module, which generates the web page document. Here, some technical words like a software engineer who knows these words. But here, just you as a journalism student, as a journalist, you must know these languages for the website, using for the websites. Just a not in-depth knowledge on the languages, just a brief introduction, brief awareness should be known as a journalist, because nowadays is always all media is depends on the digital platforms only, using digital platforms for promotion of their means the, for example, print media also they now producing digital form, means e-newspapers also, all print media now available on the websites in a electronic form, means e-newspaper is in the PDF forms. Another one is Ruby. Ruby is a dynamic and general purpose object oriented programming language that combines syntax inspired by Perl with Smalltalk like features. The Ruby originated in Japan during the mid 1990s and was first developed and designed by Yukihiro Matsumoto, who is developed this language. Here another topic you have to learn about this topic, cascading style sheets. We call it in a short form CSS. It is a style sheet language used to describe the presentation schematics, the look and formatting of a document written in a markup language. Its most common application is to style web pages written in HTML, XHTML, but the language can also be applied to any kind of XML document, including SVG and XUL. These are some technical words is here. Just don't be confused. Don't be hesitate. Once you read it, you will know it. as many as you know, you give some examples while you attend. Any questions come from this unit in the examination, don't be confused. You just remember at least two or three important languages to attend your answer, your question. Clear? Another important topic is a web page architecture. Soon I will share the screenshot also. Just a few seconds. Web page architecture. Web page architecture refers to the way we structure a website to ensure we meet our business goals while delivering a great experience for our users. Where information, here is a information architecture. IA is a best field that refers to the structure of any shared system of information, online or otherwise. Website architecture relates specially to websites. All websites have an IA, but the overall picture of websites architecture also includes usability, interaction design, user interface design, information design, web design, graphic design, content strategy. All this includes in the website's architecture. Creating a website architecture plan, first you have to frame your approach and understand the business goals and understand your user. For example, if your targeted audience maybe who don't know how to operate website, means how to open a computer, how to open mobile phone, how to see a website on the mobile phone, how to open a website on the computer. So your target audience, he may not be your target audience, so you have to be the digital literate. Create personas. Once you have completed your user research, a great way to translate those findings into a usable format is through personas. Here is a persona is a story about a fictional user that is based on information gathered from actual users. The next step in the architecture plan is a gathering your content. Now for the content, there is a number of sources available compared with some 30 years ago. We have a lot of sources in the internet, even though digital libraries and libraries, we have a number of sources available to collect the data for creating a content for our website. Primary data, so if we collected or we have organized a interview, that is a primary data. So we can give in the websites. Now coming to the elements of web page design, space is one of the most important design tools because it dictates everything from flow to readability. In the print media also, space is important. For electronic media, there is a time is important. For a radio or a television, there is a time is important. In the print media, coming to the print media, there is a space. So pages, every newspaper have some limited pages. In that limited pages only, they have to give maximum information to their target reader. Again, another element, the elements in the web page design are how to use it and navigation, about us, contact information, call to action. Call to action means many websites, if they have to give more information, then they ask us to sign up or log in and search. There is also keys appears on the website page, that is a search. So if we give some keywords in the search tab, automatically we will go to that particular subdomain link and informational footer. So on the website, we will see that information, all this information gives in the informational footer only. Web fonts also here important. Web fonts also here is important. So ultimately, what we have the target audience or viewers. So based on their requirements, we have to work, we have to design our page. In the website, the images plays very much role. See, instead of text, reading a text on the website, otherwise a mobile version, to see a image, the reader who understand what is in that content. So the images plays a greater role in the web page design. And importance of hyperlinks. Hyperlinks are the objects in the web pages and in some word processors that allow you to click on them in order to have your computer automatically display and jump either to another place in the document or to another document to altogether or to a specific place in another document. So instead of the entire content to dump here on the web page, just you have to give one hyperlink. Once, if the viewer is interested, if the reader is interested to he will click on the hyperlinks. In text, hyperlinks usually look like this, though the color might be any color. Registration of the website. So we have to register one place. Already in earlier lessons, we know that there is a no particularly owner for the internet, but some mechanism as required. Already we learned W3C, World Wide Web Consortium, and ICANN. So they were the O stages. Decide your preferred route. Your website will be made with a series of files. So you will need a place to store those files. You can do it on your own computer without a hosting service, or store them on another company's server with a hosting service. Reputable hosting services include safetynames.com, godaddy.com, onlydomains.com, enam.com. These are some examples for the registration of our websites. The hosting services all work with the ICANN database, which is in charge of keeping track of all domain names. So they should all turn up to the same information. Now, already we have created and we have known about the web design and layout all this. So now it is the time to maintenance and management of the website. The task of website maintenance and management is generally assigned to a professional who is then designated as a webmaster. What he do? Hosting and server maintenance, routine maintenance, troubleshooting, programming, marketing, and SEO also. Now coming to the web design, webmasters can also be specialists in web design. They can design an appealing visual appearance for your website that suits your potential customers. They focus on building a website that is not just visually attractive, but also fully functional. All these activities was done by webmaster. Any doubts in the unit number 9? Because of short of time, I am giving important, I am discussing on the important points only. Yeah, Mr. Syed. Can
Yes,
I continue with the next unit?
sir. Sure, sir.
Syed from which center? Which study center?
Sir, Khairatabad Study Center.
Okay, okay, right. Here is in the previous section, previous class, we have not discussed on one important item. That is why I'm going with the previous lesson also again, once again. Web browsers, we know about the, generally we are using Chrome, Firefox, Safari. About some domains, I will go with the some domains. For example, domains, if any website with ending with the .in means that is a, that website is related to the India. If the website ending with .us means that website relate to the United States. In if case it is a ending with .pk, that is a Pakistan. In case of that is a .bd, it is a Bangladesh. The website is related to the Bangladesh. Yeah, unit number 9, web or digital journalism. The characteristics of web otherwise digital journalism. It's a synonym only. And writing for web, what is e-newspaper and internet news groups. Earlier it is a in the practice, but now we have more applications, more technologies available. So we are not much using this internet news groups. Okay. And internet as a tool for news gathering, leading web-based news outlets in India. We'll learn in this unit. Characteristics of web journalism. Journalism, wherever the journalism comes, we have to once recall our traditional mass media like print media, electronic media. So in the print media, the main characteristic of the print media is in the form of print with text and images. And coming to the radio journalism, it is a audio form. And coming to the television, it is a audio and visual form. Coming to the web journalism, already we have discussed in the earlier unit about the multimedia. So a combination of a text, images, videos, animations, graphics, everything, audio, video, it's a combination of a multimedia. It's a combination of various medias is called multimedia. Coming to the web journalism also is a main characteristic is a multi-medium. The important characteristics of a web journalism are web first publishing. For example, newspapers, we required, so we have to wait for next print information and distribute reader tomorrow morning only. Is the concept here. Electronic there is a time. Is why we could not correct it. So next day we have to give some correct. So in again in the text form we have to give some lines. Some error is published in the previous edition. This is the correction we have to give in the printed. Even electronic media also we can manage it. For the web journalism, if we know it any updates or otherwise if we get it any error in the website, immediately we correct it, we can edit it. So control over the content is possible with the web journalism and using of multimedia and less constraint in term of space and time. For example, if a 10,000 word article also we can upload in the website through the web journalism. Coming to the print media, we could not give a 10,000 word article in the print media. In electronic media also, we could not read 10,000 words in the bulletin. So there is a short time. But here is a no constraint for the space and time. Virtually no barriers to entry and so no one stop it. For example, newspaper, we go and buy newspaper and read. For television, we see we can see in the television, no problem. For the web also, no barriers to entry. Whenever just we required a internet service on the basis of the telecommunication providers. They provide us the internet services. We can open the website, no barriers there is. Provision to directly monitor traffic of and time spent by readers. How many minutes, how many users visited our website, that is also calculated, and how many minutes they spent on our website. So those monitors can be possible with the web journalism. Web first publishing news and features about the current affairs can be published as soon as they are ready for publication without waiting for a particular time. Web does not require the set of stories and articles to publish at a time, once. These can be put online in any sequence. These are some advantages in the web journalism compared with the print journalism and electronic journalism. Annotated stories. It is possible to link archival material or other stories or documents within the story using hyperlinks, provided such background material is also online. Just if you give a link, if the reader is interested, he may click on the link, he will go to the new web page, there he read the entire content. And this web journalism gives the readers immediate access to background material, improving the authenticity of the content. For example, if a news comes in the newspaper, for a background of that news story, we again need to go to the library, or otherwise we have to roll the earlier page, yesterday page or day before the page, like we have to check. But here it is a simple things. In a mouse click away, we will get the background material also. Control over content. In printed newspapers, the publisher has no control over the content once it is printed and distributed. Not is that the content is in the hands of thousands of readers. It is disconnected from its publisher and is a good asset in stone. The story is somewhat different in the case of broadcast media, as the content is not really in the hands of the audience. So once the content is broadcasting or telecasting either in the radio or television, there is no control for the audience. But here, audience as well as the webmasters. But here in the web journalism, the webmaster can edit the content anytime. We are using multimedia in the web journalism, including text, photographs, audios, videos, animations. The combination also we can use here in this web page. This makes web a powerful medium. Space and time also no problem in the web journalism. As we know, printed publications have a fixed number of pages. That means a limit on the space available. Some is the case with broadcast media also. They are constrained in the terms of time for broadcasting media, space for the print media. But these constraints do not apply so strongly in the case of the web, means website. No barriers to entry. To start a newspaper or a news channel, there are many regulations to comply with. For instance, the proposed a title of newspaper must be available and needs to be registered with the Register of Newspaper for India. But web page not required to register at any place. No need to take permission from the any authorities. But there is some issues also there. We'll discuss in the coming lessons. Also, ownership details must be disclosed periodically. In the case of news channels, a steep monetary entry barrier exists along with the expensive uplinking, downlinking, and carriage fees. This is for the electronic media. Provision to monitor reader traffic. This means the publisher can monitor the numbers of readers opening a particular story or a link, the amount of time they are spending on their site, and possibly some other reader related to information. For the televisions and print media also, there is also mechanism, but that mechanism may do some NGOs, some other non-profit agencies, they do it. But here it is possible for the webmaster who can check, who can monitor the reader traffic also. How many are visiting their website, which link they are watching. All it is possible with the web journalism. Writing for web journalism is quite different with the compared with the print media and electronic media, because the print media is only print form, electronic media is a audio visual form, here is a multimedia form. So based on our multimedia components in that news article, we have to write related to that level only. Writing for the web is a different and follows certain conventions. Here the usability of the content is as important as the content itself. It is important to plan your content before you start writing. Means here in our content writing, which medium, means video, otherwise audio, otherwise only image, or a text, or a graphics, or animation. Based on these, we have to write. Web content has the best chance of being read if some simple rules around words, sentences, and verbs and voice. To be effective, web content should use a concise and simple writing style. In the journalism, the first principle you have to remember, whenever the writing, the term is appear, you may write it, the content, the story, a concise and simple. Short sentences with one or two clauses, readability statistic can help here. In case a large number, means 2 crores, 335 lakhs, 324, instead of this lengthy figure, you may quote it 2.33 crores. So it's simple. We have to make it as a simplified to readability of the readers. Plain English rather than complex words, active rather than passive voice is good for the web journalism. Micro contents with the examples are page titles, page headings, taglines, and email subject lines, summaries, decks. Decks means sub headlines, hints, tips, explainers, all are these the examples for the micro content. You need to know about these points also. Remove non-essential words to improve scannability, and move the keywords to the front of the title to catch people's attention. and to support scanning. Include keywords that boost the content's ranking. Another important point is important topic is the e-newspaper. This is nothing but e-paper. In other words, it is a replica of the print edition of a newspaper in the format of PDF, portable document file format. Unlike newspaper website, which displays stories in an order from latest to oldest, newspapers tend to carry stories based on their significance. These are the advantages for the e-newspapers. Accessibility. Coming to the accessibility, web accessibility is an approach to web design that aims to include as many users as possible. When writing for the web, you should ensure that your content is accessible to users of all abilities and disabilities. For example, disabilities here, visually and hearing impaired. Based on their capacity, also we have to give our content. For example, who are visually impaired, so he could not read, but he has another option to listen. He could not see and he could not read, so he have option that he may listen. So our content should be audible. Then only a visually and hearing impaired also know the information which is published on the website. People with intellectual disabilities and people with physical disabilities also. So we have to remember while writing our content, accessibility also, accessibility of the various kinds of the people. Internet as a tool for news gathering. Earlier is the news gathering tools are like a dictionaries and research journals, library, means many books which published by the earlier writers. Dictionaries, telephone directories are the and our primary sources. Our sources like we have some contacts with the persons in the office, so that is one of the news source. For here in the websites, internet is easiest easiest our work, journalist work. Now we are using many applications to gather the information from the various places around the world. Some of them are the Feedly is one, and in our InnoReader. Two I have given in this screenshot. We'll discuss on the Freedy. After the retirement of Google Reader, Freedy was heralded as the new standard in RSS readers. An elegant and simple in web browser, its UI is complemented with apps for both desktop and smartphones versions. InnoReader is another feed reader with a number of strings to its bow. As with the Feedy, you can organize website and YouTube account feeds into specific folders, but taking advantage of the tool's top tier personal plan features makes it a worthy addition to any newsroom toolkit. Photodesk is another one, a native Mac app. Photodesk is a powerhouse for content discovery within Instagram, while also acting as a content publisher to the platform. The tool allows you to perform the standard Instagram functions of sharing, liking, commenting, but with the ability to search for content by keyword, tag, and username. Another one is a Storyful multi-search extension. Keywords across the Twitter, YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram, and all within your browser. Twitter list copy also one another one, and verification also required. Google Earth Pro, TinyEye, Jeffrey, Exif Viewer, or some verification of our content. These tools also available in the internet. YouTube Data Viewer, people.com, and here some web-based news outlets in India for profit content-based startups. That is the Quint and the Scrolling, and non-profit journalism outlets like Divide.in, Khabar Laharia, or the startups of web journalism. Any doubts on this unit?